This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dillon Jones, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is, it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what
Schlecht?
it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before we get to Michele, and what feels like the first time in a long time that we've gotten to talk to Michele, just due to the insane schedule of everything, I want to tell you about my friends, Aaron and Drew Reese at Shelter Insurance. You can call them today. Call Aaron, 405-773-5500. Call Drew, 405-478-7714. Call or text them, actually, if you're wanting to just text somebody. Good people to text because they're going to be looking out for you. If you need car insurance, need home insurance, need somebody to care about you, Shelter Insurance. Aaron and Drew Reese, these are your guys. They support the Thunder and Down to Dunk. If you need somebody to talk Thunder with, just text them. Just text, hey, man, Thunder up. Hey, man, Aaron Reese, Thunder up. Hey, Drew Reese, hey, Thunder up. You could do that today because they also love the Thunder. So support the people that support us and go give Aaron or Drew a call or text today at Shelter Insurance. With me today, Michele Berra. Michele, what's up?
Well, championship. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time.
You've been doing it for like 10 years, yes?
Yeah, close to that. It's probably the 10th season.
Yeah.
I probably started in 2016 or something like that. Maybe first podcast in 2015. I don't remember.
I think that's right. Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, it was the Domas year. Domas or Damos or whatever. Yeah, so it's been a lot of Mondays, a lot of great Mondays, but nothing like this week. We savored it for a long time. And again, I said it on the chat. I want to say it out loud. The thing that gets me more excited about this, it's you guys. It's the people who live there. It's the podcast crew, but also like all our listeners that are in there, like in Oklahoma City. They were able to have this team growing before their eyes and actually experience it. Because it was like from the images that we saw, from the videos that we saw from the parade. It was not like, hey, there is a bus. No, it was down to earth, really a togetherness of a city that that from afar seems amazing. And this team embodies that. Presti speech touched on that. It's just amazing. And again, the best is that, the feeling that OKC got one. And I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we talked to Sam. We just got done talking to Sam not very long ago. Talked for the full 2 hours that we usually get him. So I will put that on the Down to Dunk feed. I'll probably just attach it to the end of this episode just on the audio feed. So if you're watching with us live, we won't have it here on YouTube, but we will have it on the podcast feed so that you can listen to it. So when you see that this podcast is super long, it isn't Michele and I talking for 3 hours. It's Presti at the end. But yeah, the tenor of like the whole thing for Sam, obviously extremely positive, but he is going back to like, he's kind of like deflecting credit for a lot of it. Like he talks about luck, he talks about good fortune, he talks about the leadership of the city. He's very grounded. he's really trying to live out, because he talks about humility a lot, and he's really living that out in the way that he's talking in this press conference today. So it's worth your time for you to listen to it. I'm not going to touch on everything that's in there. There's some fun stuff. There's great stuff all the way throughout it. We will kind of touch on the news around it. I also want to get Michele's opinions on the draft prospects the Thunder are bringing in.
Yeah.
And all of that. So the newsiest stuff that came from Sam today, he actually spoke to us like right off the bat about, was that J-Dub is going to have surgery on that right wrist, which if you've been watching, paying attention,
this movement was like all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
He yelled at his wrist at one point during the Denver series. He was shooting left-handed during warm-ups. You know, he's got the thing wrapped up. He also had a brace on it whenever he wasn't playing. So there's a lot of signs there that there was something going on. But now we officially know it. You know, he could have been listed on the injury report throughout the entire playoffs had he wanted to be. But, you know, the Thunder obviously wanted to keep that in-house. And now, like, it kind of goes into the legend of J-Dub now.
Yeah.
You know, that he scored 40 in the finals on a bad wrist. You know, it's actually like kind of cool now that he did all
cool back then, cooler now.
Very cool then, even cooler now. Yeah, I mean, it's just impressive stuff that he was able to play through that. He didn't ever mention it. He's given many, many chances to mention it, to talk about it. And he opted to just kind of keep that close to the vest, which I think is probably the right thing to do looking back. They weren't looking for excuses.
No.
Things weren't going well. You know, they were just wanting to play through it all.
Yeah, there was no excuse in the finals. I mean, the one can interpret Tyrese after game 5 as, I was in a bad injured leg, but then that happened. So it was really no excuses for both teams. And I mean, this is OKC. This is the OKC MO. I mean, they don't go into the news just telling stuff that might get felt as, I mean, they are not okay. Let's try to find some excuses. This is not how they go about their business. I just want to touch upon one thing that really made me think, and it's what Presti. What I like more about Presti is how things that he says are not really just basketball things, but are like life lessons to some degree. And the fact that he said that if this was my sole goal or something like that, then I would be empty now.
Yeah.
After the success. And this struck me like, wow, yes, he's not. I mean, after one day of celebration, let's get into new stuff. Because if you let yourself dwell too much into success, dwell too much into pain or just losses or whatever, then you're really missing the point. The point is, achieving goals, but setting new ones at the same time. So this is, to me, the things that I want to hear from the GM, from a leader of the team that I cover and follow, because this sets the path for what comes forward. And he used it like, get the parade and then let's go. It's probably a little bit more than that, to be honest. You can enjoy yourself for maybe a week, but then it's really, okay, that is done. Now we should get onto new goals, and that was my favorite part of the conference, I think.
Yeah, it's. I just kind of listen to him and just think, man. He talks about how he still just really enjoys it, and like he's still really motivated by doing this job. And you think about these guys and the place that they're at in their careers, and how much more they want to achieve, and they've already achieved the greatest level in the NBA. I just think like they have a chance to be like the team of the next 5 years. You know, I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's the parity age." Yes, there's truth to that. Haven't had the same champion for a long time. It's been different teams here and there. Thunder have a really good shot to go do it, and there's going to be a lot of changes. You know, we have free agency that starts today. 6:00 Eastern. There's going to be more trades. There's going to be teams kind of fortifying their teams. I think the Rockets are coming. There's a lot of teams, but the Thunder have a chance to be really, really special. I don't think anybody has a top 3 like them. Now, if you think about it, like they won the title with Chet recovering from injury. I think that he's healed, but do I think that he's 100% of who he was before he got hurt? I don't. And then we know that Dub wasn't 100%. So it's like they won it with both those guys not at 100%, and both those guys being outrageously young. They won it, and so just think about where this is headed for them. I think it's wild to think about where they're going, but yeah, this team has a chance to be a dynasty type team, and Sam is extremely focused on all of that.
Yeah, it will not happen. You need to make that happen. I vividly remember the Italian swimming team, 100 meters. They were very good. They were super young, and they just missed the medal. I think it was 2012. And after this race, the captain said, "Yeah, we're very young. The future is for us. We lost, but the future is us. We are so young." And they never ever won anything. It's you can't just say it. You really need to put the work. And this team and its leaders, they are actually doing it. They are not making excuses. They are really working, and this makes this championship even more important. There is no asterisk. The championship is fantastic, unique, amazing. There is nothing that can change that. And again, to hear this kind of comments after it, it's probably one of the best prizes of the entire season.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. It's extremely fun. We do have a super chat from, let's see, Braden Gaines, 1795. Do you think Presti would actually consider trading Oos and Joe for Cam Johnson?
Yeah, I texted you that. I think that on paper it looks amazing, and you probably should do it if this or this plus a certain amount of picks is on the table. But then, how sustainable is that? They would probably be on the tax this year, and again, this I think in February we said, do we really think that Cam Johnson is the piece that makes the difference between a championship and not a championship? The answer is no. Definitely no. It happened already. So probably talent-wise, if this is all it takes, then you do it. But you need to be very mindful about the financial situation. I don't think that you can keep the entire roster like this. You probably have to move someone else, like Kenrich, something like that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, like, if they make any moves, if at all. I think that largely they'll be focused on just kind of bringing this group back, adding like they did via the draft, which I wanted to pick your brain on a little bit too. I think that's more so where this is headed rather than making a big splash like that. Cam Johnson's going to make a lot of money. That's the thing you have to think about. It's like Cam will make a lot of money in this league, and the Thunder are going to be the team that's going to actually pay them. Would pay him. I don't know. We can touch on some deals that they have gotten done. They got a deal done with Jay Will. He signed a 3-year, $24 million contract with the Thunder, which is great. So they declined the team option on his deal and gave him a raise, and are going to allow him to stick around. He is very much kind of a heart and soul of the team kind of guy that it's not surprising. Sam told a story about him and iHeart helping Chet off the floor when he got injured. And it was like really, like you could see Sam like tearing up telling the story. He said he'd never seen somebody in so much pain in his life as he did with Chet. getting hurt, and so they went back and like he said that they just sat with him as he's just in pain. He's like, I don't even know if he said, I don't even know if Chet even realizes, that they were there, but like they were just being the ultimate teammates, in that moment. It's very cool. And he's a guy that I think helps in spot minutes, even though they have Sorber now. I think he's a guy that helps in spot minutes. He's a different player than Sorber. He can
very different.
And so they're going to find spots for him to play. And truth be told, like the guy just holds value just being on the squad, period.
Yeah. And he's evolving into a more shooting first role, which is not something that OKC has as a 4 or 5 man. So this is kind of maybe needed, especially if he's not the guy where you rely the entire defense on him. So I really think that this may be something that they try out a little bit more with him at the 4. He's not really mobile as some foreman likes to be, but if the 39% from 3 or whatever he was shooting for the season, I think that the second half of the season was something crazy. If he's that kind of a shooter, and you can find lineups that work with him in terms of defense, then he can give you spot minutes, and it's a great insurance because Sorber is surely an interesting prospect, especially defensively, but he will not be ready to play probably high-level basketball from the beginning, and you still have a regular season where you clearly want to manage both Hartenstein and Chet, and for different reasons. I think Hartenstein can benefit from a little bit less of a load into for the regular season, and Chet needs to be managed. The next season is about getting everyone to the playoff starts with the best possible physical condition, which was not the case this year. They did a marvelous job with Caruso, but again, J-Dub was hurt. Shea was tired. There were many things that you had to do. Next season, it's about, hey, let's try to win a lot again, but with a little bit less fatigue on our best players. And the big men are, it's one of the most taxing positions. So you really need to manage that. So there is room for everyone. The contract is actually a 2-year deal where you are sure that you want to keep J. Will next season. And if you don't want to do that going forward for some reason, then it's an expiring $7.5 million deal, which is a trade chip. It's perfect to do anything else because he has a team option on year 3. So it's just a fantastic contract.
Yeah, and you could extend him off that contract, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah, optionality. Yes.
Yeah. They gave AJ Mitchell a deal. I don't think it's official yet, but he's gonna have his option declined, and they're going to reportedly give him a 3-year, $9 million deal, which is an outstanding contract for this guy. Like he's a good player. He showed that when he was healthy. The struggle is that he was injured. But yeah, it's an impressive contract. And Sam I asked him about, the way that he got these deals done and how he's gotten these deals done with Isaiah Joe and Wiggins and those guys in the past. And he said it's very collaborative. Like they sit down, they talk about the goals of the player, they talk about the goals of the franchise, and they just try to meet in the middle. He said when you are able to do that, you have the chance for everybody to walk away feeling good. These aren't contentious, back and forth, we need this, or no one's playing hardball. It's more collaborative. And so I think it's just cool to hear about that, and then cool to kind of see it happening. It's happened a lot with this team. It's happened twice already this summer. We'll see what those negotiations look like for extensions for Shea, Chet, J-Dub, and if those end up happening or not. But yeah, it's exciting to see, AJ, because it was a question, with the deal that he was on, what's going to happen. This was likely the plan all along, but it's cool to see him sticking around because I think he's a guy that will contribute next year. I think he's a guy that can really play.
Yeah, he can play. Again, it gives you a lot of optionality while giving a little bit of security to AJ, which is basically getting a late first rounder or late first rounder kind of salary path, a little bit less than that, which, I mean, it's probably appropriate for what he was doing on the court because he had like a very good moment at the beginning of the season and then really missed the part where usually rookies are just hitting a brick wall and the scouting report starts to come out on you and you are not the same player. So AJ didn't get through that and he benefited for a very, very good beginning of the season. I think that in the number, which seems low, there's also that where, yeah, sure, you did like 2 months, 2.5, whatever, of great basketball. What about next year? He may not have the same minutes, so I mean, to wait longer, yeah, you risk to not have the same exposure, and B, you really risk to not be as efficient. Of course, it is a gamble. It is a projection by both the player and the team. I think that giving you like the full rookie extension, basically, it's a good path. I mean, I'm not sure that if you pick the brain of 20 draft analyzer, that they would redraft AJ Mitchell in the lottery of past year draft. Probably in the 20s somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is basically what he got salary wise, a little bit less than that. But again, it's probably a perspective where you can, if you are AJ Mitchell, then you still know that you're in a great organization. You just won a championship, and you know that you have a coach that knows you, trusts you, and gives you opportunities. I mean, Mark gave him opportunities in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, he did.
So it's something where I think that a lot of players are okay playing for a team that seems to enjoy themselves. I mean, being in a place of work where you really go and have fun and just find the good things around you, and be getting like still a good salary, which I don't know if it was out there in the market for him right now.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like if he would have gone searching for it, what would have happened?
Yeah.
You know, 3
But that's the
million.
point.
3 million is low. You know,
I know.
Like it's, it's worth, to me. It would be worth. I mean, it's well worth it. For the Thunder, obviously, but it's also a great deal for him. He was a second round pick. Not all second round picks, get $9 million in the NBA. So. But I think he's outplayed that. I think that he has a chance to be much, much better than that. And then we can look back in a year or so and be like, man, that was quite a deal. But none of that's guaranteed because, as we'll talk about, like Nikola Topic is going to play in Summer League. He's going to get a chance to play on this team. They spent a lottery pick on this guy. And so, he's going to get a really fair shake to play. And we'll see him as soon as Saturday.
Yeah.
In Utah, he'll play in Summer League. I won't be in Utah. I will be in Vegas. So I look forward to hopefully getting to watch him in person in Vegas. But exciting times, man. It's not only do the Thunder win the championship, but we get to see a lottery pick play. Sorber will not play in Summer League. It's not surprising that, the news that Nikola Topic will play and that Sorber won't play is not surprising. I think it's best for both players. Obviously, I think that Sorber's health with his foot is important for him to get back fully, and they're going to allow him to get his conditioning up and everything. He'll be ready for the season. I don't know if I mentioned J-Dub. His surgery is going to happen soon, and he'll be ready for the season as well. So like, there's not any concerns with any of these guys as of today as to what's going to happen. Like keeping them out for any part of the season. We're just going to miss Sorber in Summer League, which it would have been fun to see he and Topic to have this like guard big man connection in Summer League. And with the hands that Sorber has, I think that Topic is particularly a pretty fun point guard to play with. But alas, we won't see it. But we will get to see Topic.
And Bernheiser, or what's the pronunciation?
Yeah, Barnheiser.
That guy can dunk.
He's fun.
And defend. Not sure like how reliable his offense is in terms of other things like jumper and in general the ability to get at the rim and scoring efficiently. But he is a project, and I just want to see him in more up close against NBA caliber defenders, NBA caliber athlete on defense, because I mean, a lot of the allure of this guy is the defensive side, the size that he has. He's 6'6" with a plus something wingspan. So he's really like a strong dude. It seemed like a strong dude. Again, I'm not sure how his offense will look like if you look at through his synergy numbers. Like pretty low in terms of efficiency. But again, efficiency is not the point of this kind of player right now. For Sorber, yeah, I agree that like being able to watch him in Summer League would have been a blast. But again, the foot injury and the recovery and getting to conditioning, it's no point of playing Summer League if you are out of shape, out of game shape. It's just not the rep that you need. It's probably different. It's probably like being in a gym and doing cardio and doing some other things that can get your conditioning to where it's supposed to be so that you can have a great summer of training. I mean, the allure to me in a Sorber is clearly what he can do to change the geometry of the game defensively. I mean, he is a great shot blocker. He has an amazing timing. Offensively, it's weird. I mean, he has this 90-90 kind of basketball, even 90-80 sometimes kind of offensive basketball. But I mean, I think that I've heard you talking about the touch. I mean, it is there, definitely. It's not the guy that you can see having a terrible shooting motion from the line, for example. Yeah. I'm not sure how quickly he can get into a reliable jumper, if ever. But there is a path there for him improving. I mean, if you look at the way in which he takes threes, I'm probably less confident in Barnheiser than him, because there is a clear hitch and some wasted movement in Brooks' shots. Whereas Sorber, it's more of, hey, this doesn't look like fluid enough. But there is a decent touch. If you look at the way in which, for example, the two guys take hook shots, it's clear to me that one is just throwing the ball into the basket and the other one is like finesse it into the basket with fingers and whatnot. So there is potential there. You never know with big men if they will focus on that and will be able to be efficient on the three ball. But you know, the defense is enough to give you the defense, and the overall efficiency is enough to give you, and the passing, to give you like productivity at the NBA level.
Yeah, he's exciting, and I mean, it's pretty obvious that like the whole goal of all of this is like, hey, let's give ourselves a long runway to play like we want to play. Let's give ourselves as many options as possible. We talked about, I mean, Sam talked about iHeart and how there's really not been anybody that's, acclimated himself to the community as quickly as he does. And like he's been doing stuff for the community all year, like just from the jump. And so like this guy, and I think he would do that wherever he was, but I think that he is like developing a really special connection with Oklahoma City. So I don't think that it's a foregone conclusion that like Sorber is 100% going to replace iHeart and that's what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. We can't sit here and claim to know that, Sorber is going to be a starting big one day, or he's going to be like if Chet starts at the 5, like he's definitely going to be the backup one day. Like we just don't know. And so I think we have to go into it like with an open mind, knowing that there are pathways for that to happen. And there's other pathways too that are here. I think the Thunder took the guy they thought was best for them in that spot. He happens to be a center. He happens to be a really unique defensive player too, that has like some really good passing chops. And so I think it's exciting to bring in a guy like that. He's super duper young, and like I got to be around him on Saturday for a little bit, and one super nice guy. I really enjoyed getting around him. And two, boy, I feel so old around him.
He is young.
He's got brace face, which is totally fine, and it's not even that makes him look young, but like he just feels really young. Brooks, I think he's 23.
Yeah.
He feels a little bit more seasoned, but Sorver is gonna, it'll take a minute just to mature in general, for him.
Yeah.
But like physically, I think he'll be ready by the time the season starts, and I'll be interested to see him play. Michele, let's take a quick break. We come back. We'll continue to chat championship, some about Presti. We'll be right back. And we're back after that quick break. This episode is brought to you by Ring Family Dentistry. They take a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brennan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling, just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house, which is very unusual, by the way. Like this is where you want to go. These are great people as well. Call or schedule your appointment today. 405-6. Oh my goodness, help me. I'm so tired. 405-621-1555, or make an appointment online, ringfamilydentistry.com. Go check out Ring Family Dentistry. Great people. And they can honestly do things in-house that no one else can. So go check them out today. Michele.
Can we stick to the draft a
Yeah.
little bit more?
Yeah, let's do it. With everything going on, I don't feel like I've had enough time to talk about the draft.
Yeah, well, not in general. I want to talk sober a little bit. Not sober. I am sober right now, but can say the same for many Thunder players at the parade, but who knows? And who cares? Anyhow, sober. I think that sometimes, like we did with Case and Wallace, we gave too much thought about the fit on the court, which is part of the deal, clearly, but it's not the only part of the development of a guy. So the fact that Lou Dort and Alex Caruso can help a guy like Cason Wallace maturing into a defensive presence, sharpening the thing that he's already good at, I think it's very important. Now, you have to get on the court. But I've yet to see in Oklahoma City a player who is great and just sits on the bench. I just have yet to see that.
Yeah.
So it may be games where you sit Hartenstein and you have Sorber right there playing an entire game, maybe, or there will be spot minutes here and there. Mark Dagnall is and his staff are masters at doing that. So if you have a great player, then you make things happen in order to play him a lot. You can play big lineups all the time. I mean, OKC can do a lot with the roster. You can mix up stuff elsewhere to allow Sorber to play a little bit more. So I'm not really looking at this just as, okay, OKC is drafting the replacement of Dort in case of Case and Wallace, and also Sorber, the replacement of whoever on the front line. It's also like just developing Sorber with great examples for him to mold into. I mean, Hartenstein talks a lot about how greatly helpful playing with Jokic was when he was young. So you have Chet Holmgren, who is one of the smartest and most instinctual defender that you have in the league. And Sorber, who's clearly very good at defense, can just learn from playing with Chet. These are things that I think are very important for the development of these young guys. And again, if he's great, he will be on the court one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. Who was the last good Thunder player that didn't play at all his rookie season?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know that it's a thing.
Yeah.
I say that not having an answer to the question,
Yeah.
Like, who is it? Like, let us know in the chat. Was there somebody that like just didn't play their rookie season and they turned out to be some awesome player? Like, it just seems like, especially with Mark,
yeah,
that he's like, if you're competent, if you're ready at all, like you're gonna play. And I think that it's good for the team too. Like you said, just to give guys rest, you know.
Mhm.
Like this, I think this next season, like think about how much basketball these guys have played. I think it's
Yeah.
really important for them to like be able to manage these guys, especially guys like Chet, who is like still in my mind, and maybe this is just me projecting, but like still coming off injury to a degree.
Yeah.
And so him trying to still find his way within all of this, it's kind of nice to have somebody like Sorber to step in and play. And if he's good, and if he's like a guy that can really play, then I think he'll play. I just think
Yeah.
and so same with Barnhizer. Like just because you're the 44th pick in the draft doesn't mean that you are for sure destined to only play G League minutes.
No,
You know, I think that he's
definitely
another
not.
guy that if you're trying to keep Alex Caruso fresh and ready for the NBA playoffs, it's not a bad thing to have another guy like Barnhizer to come in and play. So, I'm not saying that he definitely will, but if he's ready in any sort of way, like we saw Wiggins play,
Yeah.
his rookie season, he is a better player today than he was then for sure. But if Barnhizer can play, he'll play. Like that's just kind of how it goes in OKC.
You know who else is definitely going to play, or I hope so, because the franchise just gave like one of the most insane trade of the entire draft history. I mean, I hope Queen plays for New Orleans, because I mean, if you really believe that he's worth like the chance of getting the number 1 pick next year, and he better be very good. Like by very good, I mean like all-star good, at least. But that, even if that happens, it may still be an overpay to get that, because I mean, think about that player, that pick being a top 3 next year.
Yeah.
Where you have guys that are thought as franchise altering players, and you really put that many stocks into one basket, a basket that, by the way, 13 other GMs think that okay, he's a good player, but not better than this one.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, that is a choice. I mean, I really hope that works, but I like Queen, but I mean,
don't like that much.
No, I would probably be. Did you trade in the top 10 to get that player by using just 2 picks? I would be. Maybe no. Like, suppose that you give like 13 and 17 to get up to 10, which is far less than what the Pelicans did.
Yeah.
I would be not okay with that.
Yeah, I cannot sit here and tell you that I understand or agree with anything the Pelicans have done recently.
Yeah,
it's a dumpster fire, and it's a gift to podcasters. It's a gift to every other NBA team to have teams that are willing to do deals like this.
Yeah,
and like, do we think the Thunder tried to get that pick as well? Probably. Because goodness, who would turn down that deal?
Yeah.
Like, who in the world would turn that down given the option? I mean, it's an unbelievable thought, like to give up that chance. And like, yeah, you're giving up a lottery pick now. You're giving up the chance to draft, Derek Queen. But boy,
I mean, do you really think that the same team would have turned down the pick, top 3 protected? I mean,
it's a point taken. No, it's an incredible deal.
It's an incredible deal. Probably 95% you go through with that. It's still an overpay. People will look at it as an overpay, but you can justify that. Like, okay, next year draft is too good. Just if it's the top 3, come on.
Yeah.
And And you can still give them another pick. You can say the best between the two, or the one that gets away from the top three. You can concoct something where if for some reason they both land into the top three, you still get one as the other team. And I mean, I'm sure that the Hawks would have gotten the trade done anyway because it's such a prize. But this way, imagine if that is the number one pick. I mean, what are you doing?
Disaster.
I don't care about how good Quinn is. I mean, it would have to be, in order for me to say, okay, this was actually a trade that makes sense and nobody saw it coming. It's probably not. I mean, there is no universe in which I would say that. But he has to be like a J-Dub like career, where you see, oh, this is an All NBA, and I mean, Presti paid way less, took it up and get J-Dub way less.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm with Sam Vecini saying that this should be rescinded by the league. But I mean, the Hawks, I mean, they are really not at fault with this. They actually said yes to a very, very interesting thing. So how can you stop it?
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Okay, stay tuned. I'm going to have Sam Presti's press conference playing right after this. We'll be back. We're going to have many other episodes. We will talk about Topic, next week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We'll break down more of the free agency stuff with Alex Wednesday. And then on Friday, we will be able to answer your questions and kind of be able to kind of download all this stuff. And I was talking to Ryland Stiles earlier today. We just kind of all feel like we're buffering still from like the influx of information, things happening, and that will kind of continue throughout this week. So really appreciate you guys tuning in live. Got a bunch of people tuning in live. If you will hit the like button, that would mean a lot to us. Really appreciate you guys joining us throughout this season. The best is yet to come. I still feel like for this Thunder team, which seems insane, but I still feel like that's the case. And the best is yet to come for Down to Dunk. So we're going to stay with you guys. Very much appreciate you guys. And we will talk to you guys again on Wednesday.